Hi everybody, it's Mr. Shapiro, and we are going to talk about art criticism. This is day one. Art criticism is how to look at, talk about, and make a judgment call about art. So in a survey that I gave you, I asked you what your definition of art criticism was. And hopefully you brainstormed a little bit and came up with some ideas. But I know that sometimes we get caught up with the word criticism. And criticism usually has sort of a negative connotation to it where we think that we're picking something apart or looking for its faults, and we're basically trying to find the worst in something. But this is really not the case in art criticism. The dictionary definition of art criticism is the discussion or evaluation of visual art. And there are 4 steps in critiquing an artwork. Step 1 is description. Step 2 is analysis. Step 3 is interpretation. And step 4 is evaluation and judgment. We're going to start with step 1, which is description. And we're going to follow with step 2, step 3, and step 4 in that order. The definition of description is to simply explain what it is you see in an artwork. We're not trying to explain something that is maybe, in your opinion, what you think might be going on. It's just simply to record what we see. This is very objective. We try not to make it very personal, and we usually try to look at the art elements and the principles of design and what the subject matter is. Step 1 in art criticism is just look at an artwork and describe what you see in terms of the subject matter and art elements. Sometimes I suggest to students, you need to pretend that you're describing something over the phone to a friend, and assume that friend has no idea what you're talking about. The more you talk in detail about things such as your subject matter or your art elements, such as line, shape, form, color, texture, space, and value, the more somebody is going to get a visual representation of that in their mind. Today, we're just going to describe the art elements that you see. We want you to be very descriptive. So I'm going to use the example of color, one of our strongest art elements. And I really encourage students to stay away from overgeneralized statements, such as if I ask you, well, describe a coil pot, and people say the pot is colorful. Well, that leads nowhere in my mind because there are so many colors available. A better description would be the coil pot is glazed blue. Description would be the coil pot is glazed with 2 variations of blue, baby blue on the top and turquoise blue on the sides. So what we have done is we've given details. The best examples give the location and description or the details of the types of the blue glazes. And this can happen with any other art element such as line or texture or space or form or shape. You can use all 7 art elements in very good detail. So for activity 1 today, I want you to go to Google Classroom and find the assignment that is titled Description. I would like you to describe what you see, just what you see, in the following artwork on the following slide. This should take no more than 10 minutes to do this. This piece is The Afternoon at La Grande Jatte by Georges Seurat, and this painting is in the Art Institute of Chicago and is really a fascinating looking painting. It was done in the 1800s, and it was done just with little points of color. So go to Google Classroom and complete the description exercise in the assignment that is posted tomorrow after 11 a.m. Thanks. Bye.